right, well, here we are on Saturday. I got the day off. I usually record music or I spout off about politics, and that's what we're going to do today, the latter of the two. Today, I've been watching a lot of the coverage about regarding Joe Biden's recent public speaking engagements, where we all remember when he gave that speech in Philadelphia in front of the red backdrop, and he basically declared war against people like myself, saying that we're violent, we're the enemy of the people, we're basically domestic terrorists. That's where he's going with it. Again, not very much of a unifier in that case, but again, we're not, obviously at this point, we're not going to unify. I'm sorry to break it to you, at this point, we're well beyond that. But I just want to isolate and highlight some of the things that the guy that you voted for, if you didn't vote for Trump, if you did vote in the 2020 cycle, you voted for a man who, again, is dividing the country way worse than Orange Man, which you guys are still obsessed with, which is fucking crazy. But you have Joe Biden spouting off basically Civil War starting points. I don't know. I listened to the Democratic side. They're a cult. I'm sorry, you guys call MAGA people a cult, but we're just trying to keep the fucking country normal. You guys are trying to sexualize children, give all of our money to the Ukraine. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know why people don't see what's happening with the inflation and the economy, how bad it hurts. I mean, I have to envision, what is a Biden supporter who still, I saw a Val Demings bumper sticker here in Florida, and the license plate said Brooklyn to Florida. That was BK and the number 2 FLA. So this asshole, driving a Subaru, by the way, of course, they all drive fucking Subarus. She's driving through Southwest Florida like this is DeSantis and Trump country, and she's in a Subaru with a fucking Val Demings bumper sticker on her car. Again, that's the only one I've ever seen. That's why I was shocked. I took a picture of it. It's like seeing a fucking, I don't know, albino alligator. It's just, you have to take a picture of it. So I did. So I'm not too worried about this portion of Florida or Florida in general. What I'm concerned about is the rest of the country, because they have a news media. We have a news media that basically just regurgitates lies. Now, I'll put on, like I said, I'll listen to the Senate or the House, and they'll go to the Democrat side and they'll be talking about January 6th. They consistently repeat that Capitol policemen were murdered and killed and brutally beaten to death on January 6th. They say it out loud in session, and there's really no pushback. That is a blatant lie. That did not happen. It's all been debunked. But the debunking part of that aspect of the story doesn't get any play with the media. And the scary part is, even after it's been debunked, they continuously repeat these lies. And you have numbskulls who think that MAGA people are evil and that we're Hitler-esque. They won't listen to you when you explain to them and try to show them that this is literally not true. It sounds right to them, so they keep saying it. And to the people who vote for him, it sounds right to them, so they vote for it and they agree and cheer it on and say, oh my God, MAGA on January 6th, man, they burnt this country down. No, that's not how it worked, man. That's not how it worked. But again, getting back to the leader, your leader, Joe Biden, not only is he dividing people, his son, his laptop, sexual nastiness all over it, foreign deals all over it. FARA rules being broken, Democrats covering up for them, not allowing the Republicans to look into Hunter Biden, hiding evidence from the voters before the last election. The FBI raiding the president over documents. This is all right before the midterms. We all know what it is. But the fact that they have this much control over all the strings of power right now, it's scary, but it's also starting to blossom much more than what you are ready to deal with in half the country. Because when somebody puts up with something for so long and then they finally snap, it's not the amount of pushback that you're going to be expecting. It's a lot more. because they held it back. It's like a dynamite with a long wick. It's been burning and burning and burning. And it seems like it's just like one more thing, but they keep doing that one more thing. But the temperature keeps rising. One more thing I have to bring up is there's a clip of Joe Biden speaking to a teachers union, a bunch of teachers, they love him. The only people that really, I think that's his voting base, other than dead people. But in front of this group of people, he notices a woman in the front row, and he says, "You need to say hi to me." So I might mix it up a little bit, but basically, in the middle of his speech, he stops and points at her and says, "You need to say hi to me. We go way back. We have a long history. I was 30 and she was 12.
Wow, he sounded like a candidate in a way I haven't heard him. He even was wandering with the mic. He could have stood at the podium.
There's a lot more Republicans out there taking credit for the new bridges and those buildings that are collapsing than actually voted for it. Gotta say hi to me. We go back a long way. She was 12, I was 30, but anyway.
What the fuck did that mean? But funny thing is, I only can find the clips of it on obscure YouTube channels. The mainstream media doesn't want to talk about it. I mean, I'm sure Fox does, but fuck Fox too. Fuck them all. I'm just saying, it's gotten to the point where it's either they don't know, and that's the listening audience. They're too caught up in like Ukraine and stupid shit. Some Americans really disappoint me in their attention span and their ability to focus on the goal. They think politics are boring. They don't understand that it controls their entire life. You have all these people who always say, both sides are bad, lesser of evil, blah, blah, blah. Fuck you, you stupid fucking morons. If you don't get involved, this is what you get. You get a rambling, senile, pedophile, whose daughter in her own diary said she believes she was molested. His son has his contacts for Joe Biden in his phone. Hunter has Joe Biden listed as Pedo Peter. What does that refer to? Pedophilia. What did Ashley Biden say? That she thinks she was she thinks she was molested too. This guy has got all these videos that the internet tries to take down now of him kissing, sniffing, touching, doing horrible things to children and women all the time. Like he can't help it. It's like me breathing. As soon as he's around a child or a woman, he's touching, sniffing, doing all these horrible things. And it all coalesces with this idea that even his own children are trying to, it seems like they're asking for help. Like they've been put through this all their life and they're kind of screaming out for help or mercy. That's where the drugs come in. That's where all these laptops and all these horrible things. It's a dysfunctional family. You guys thought Trump was so evil. You're so fucking evil that you put this country in a position where we're humiliated on the world stage. Every time he goes out in front of the other countries and speak, the other day he got lost in front of the UN. He got lost and started walking around the stage with his hands up saying, "Where am I?" He didn't know where to go. It was so awkwardly uncomfortable.
Excavated those bodies. A roadmap eliminating global food insecurity to eliminating global food insecurity. Where is the Venezuelan-led dialogue and return to free and fair elections? Thank you for your tolerance, for listening to me.
Where is he headed?
Mr. President, thank you. At the end of such a momentous event,
Oh my God.
the word thank you seems...
Somebody go get him. What the fuck are they leaving him up there for?
Whose lives will be saved.
Oh, we are so
The
fucking
communities where life will be
humiliated.
transformed. Thank you.
Dude,
But
somebody
it's
go
not
get
that I
him. I
feel
feel bad for Joe Biden. I'm starting to feel bad for our country as a whole. Because a lot of this can't be walked back. A lot of things are going to happen because of the weakness that we are currently living under. I don't know. There's just too much shit to go over. But my point is, I really wish, I really hope, I really pray that the pain that is being put upon this country will wake some people up. Just enough to vote. I mean, we have the midterms. This is clutch. This is so important. But beyond that, we need to just retake control. And when I say we, I just mean they're normal American people that don't want to sexualize children, don't want to push CRT through our schools, who just want to go back to teaching kids normal stuff. Stop with this equity bullshit. We're all Americans. Everybody's got to get up and go to fucking work. Just stop fucking complaining and pointing all your fingers at white people. That's not the problem in this country right now. Trust me, if you look closer, it's not fucking white people in the history of this country that's bringing this country down. It's the current administration. And the fucking mainstream media is the fucking worst. Hence the reason I refuse to watch mainstream media. Crystal likes to watch the White House press briefings. Curious. I mean, I sometimes I get into it and I watch it, but the problem is the way it's set up. They get to ask, sometimes they'll ask one rocky question and Karine Jean-Pierre will stumble over it and look like a middle school kid trying to have a school project without studying for it, going through her book, trying to find the answers. She doesn't have them. So when these reporters do ask her questions, it's telling that they will not ask a follow-up. She'll respond with some rhetoric that is not based in any reality. It's like an opinion or a want or a wish that they have. They want it to look a certain way. The fact of the matter is we're looking directly at the mess, and they're telling us it's not a mess. The media never follows up with questions when they are blatantly lying. They never call them out for blatantly lying. And I know they're not that stupid. Now, Peter Doocy gets to ask a couple questions, but even, I mean, I would go homeless for a month just so I could spend one hour questioning this administration face to face in front of the world. I would just me, and I'm not the smartest person in the world. I would like the opportunity to ask questions that are suitable to be addressed to this administration. I don't want to know the flavor of his ice cream. I don't want to know what his plans are this week. I don't care about that shit. It's the policies. That's where the disconnect is. That's where we're having this major issue in this country. God bless this country. Pray for it. Just tell people to vote and explain to them. Just ask them to think about what type of world they're living in right now, what it was not too long ago, and what power they have in their hands to vote. And I don't want to hear this bullshit, I'm too deep for voting. I'm too deep for politics. You're not too deep when your fucking taxes are going up. You're not too deep when they're teaching your child, if they're a white kid, that they're a racist piece of shit. Don't be too deep for it, or it's going to come for you. If you ignore this, it's going to come for you. The bad guys will win if you ignore it. That's how it works.